Back then it was a much more formal park with the flower borders and everything. That's how I remember the park as a child, with all the flower borders, and it was lovely. But the lake we loved, especially the boats.
So I remember when they built a swing over the stream and my sister got on it and it collapsed. Well, she wasn't the only one on it. There were too many on it and the rope broke and they all fell in the stream. It was so funny.
In the winter, I remember skating on the lake. We would cut blocks of ice from the edge and use them to sit on while someone pushed you across the frozen lake. My brother got stuck on the island because the ice gave way, and my older brother had to wade across to carry him back while all the neighbours cheered. His legs were blue.
My mum, Eileen Exton, she loved being the boat lady. She would get my brother Barry to go and fetch the boats that had been let loose during the night. She also served in the ice cream box.
I was on a rope swing hanging off a big tree in the park and someone started spinning it around and around. Next thing I knew was waking up in hospital with absolutely no recollection of how I got there.
I spent my childhood in Boultham Park. I used to go early in the morning in the summer holidays with my friend Jane to bail the boats out with an empty bean can in the hope we'd get a free go. Mrs. Exton used to use a megaphone to shout the boats back in.
In 1946, my dad was rowing with his back to me and my younger sister. She overreached her hand in the water and fell in. Dad jumped in and scooped her off the bottom. Poor Dad, his khaki trousers were sopping wet as he struggled to the bank. Luckily, it ended well.
I've got really happy memories of the summer of 1958, when I would cycle from North Highcombe to Boultham Park to sit in the sunshine and revise for my GCEs.
We would walk across the park in the early morning to go to Boultham Baths. As we walked, the mist from the lake would be above our knees. It was a beautiful sight.
With my son and then my grandchildren, we would pack little metal boxes with messages and old coins. Then we'd bury the treasure in various places around the park. I wonder how many were found during the restoration.
We had a gang down our street. We did in those days. We were the Moreland gang. It'd be our friends down the road and the neighbours' kids. We would go into the park with our gang. We used to go into the wood bit. We used to mess about more than anything and explore.
I can remember the house and I can remember the cafe, but I can't ever remember going in the cafe because we weren't very well off for a start. But what I can particularly remember about the house was the greenhouse at the side, because you had to get permission to go in there. It was a privilege to go in there, you couldn't just go in.
I used to push the pram through the park to fetch the Coke from the gas place on Newark Road. A baby's pram, yeah. You took a pram and you filled the pram with Coke. We didn't have supermarkets when I was a kid. I was born in 1942.
Now you've got all the grey squirrels. But I can't remember as a child any grey squirrels. I think it was all red squirrels when we were kids. I can remember seeing the birds and things, but I was mainly interested in the tadpoles.
We used to have picnics in the park when we were kids. We didn't have cameras. The family didn't have cameras. You used to have photographers coming round and take photos of you in the garden or something.
I'm so grateful I have the park on my doorstep. You get to know the regulars. A lot of us have been in the park for years.